That was good. It's a good performance.
Yeah.
Yes. It's nice. Right. Where are we now?
Where are we?
Yeah. You took us through this hallway.
Yeah, we're backstage at the Bluebird. Hey, y'all.
Ah, howdy.
Yeah, it's episode 3.
Oh, is that what happened? It's been so long. Been a week.
It has been a whole week.
Yeah, you know what? Weeks fly by.
They do. They fly by when you're watching Nashville.
Well, I've only watched one episode of Nashville this week, so that's a problem.
Yeah. I like how that's a problem. We're 3 episodes in, and only watching one episode at a time is a problem for you now. This is good. We're making progress.
Progress. Yes, my favorite genre of music is progress.
So this week we are talking Nashville season 1, episode 3. Someday You'll Call My Name. Which is named...
and my name, of course, is
Andrew Jones.
No, my name. Yep, that's true. Your name is Johnny Ellis.
Yes.
I call your name, and you call me by mine. But also, I did legally change my name the other day to Daddy.
Oh.
So someday this episode will call my name frequently, and for like 5 seasons in a row. Yeah, certainly.
So this is named after another Hank Williams song, although it was originally a hit for Jimmy Wakely, but
then it doesn't count.
Mostly associated with Hank Williams, written by Gene Blanche and Eddie Hill. The song is. So yeah.
What about the episode? Who wrote the episode?
Who wrote the episode?
Oh, you have the song information up there, but you don't have the basic stuff of writers, directors.
I've got all song stuff up from my...
You say you write notes, and I don't believe you anymore.
I do write notes. I wrote down. You mentioned something that I didn't think you were going to notice, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Is this an Aaron Sorkin episode? Did he write it? Did it get put to screen word for word? Is it a Tommy Schlummy directed app? What should you do? 60 on the Sunset Strip after this?
I wouldn't mind it, actually. I'm sure it's available somewhere on one of the many streaming apps I now have.
It's actually not available anywhere on a streaming platform because...
Really?
Because last week, at time of broadcast of this episode, the George Lucas talk show on Twitch just did a 17-hour live stream of the whole show, and they had to find a way to put it up somewhere so people could watch it because it's not legally available anywhere.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's interesting, right?
So, before you interrupted me, I would have told you this earlier. But you interrupted me. I had the notes.
It was my tangents and discretions because that's the problem with me. I'm a terrible person. But I'm not the host here. I'm just sitting in for you.
It's
who the episode?
Liz Tiglar.
Liz Tiglar. Someday you'll call my name.
Tigelar.
Sing it, Tammy.
She's she has written for Little Fires Everywhere, most recently, Bates Motel, Revenge, Once Upon a Time, Brothers and Sisters. Did you ever watch Brothers and Sisters?
I do not believe I did. I watched shows with Daddy instead.
Well, you're in luck, because this has got a whole lot of Daddy.
So she's qualified of a lot of TV drama.
Yeah.
A lot of
and directed by where was the... Wait, hold on, I've lost the name. Michael Engler, who has directed episodes of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. He directed the Downton Abbey movie.
Right.
As well as episodes of Downton Abbey.
What was the first show you said?
Sorry?
What was the first show you said?
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Could you say it properly, please?
Unbreakable.
There you go.
Kill, I've done it. It's a miracle. Is that how it goes?
Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Females, and I think this also counts towards Nashville, are strong as hell.
Yeah. Also, Party of Five, he directed 15 episodes.
The redone version or the old?
No, 1994 to 1998.
That is going back a while.
Yeah. 6 Feet Under, he's directed. Sex and the City.
I was going to say good show, but then you added Sexwood in there. That's That's Carrie and Samantha and Miranda and Al Swearingen.
Yeah, he directed one episode of Deadwood.
Which one are you?
Some episodes of
I'm
30
such an
Rock.
owl.
This is the only episode of Nashville he directed.
Right, yeah, he's a gun for hire who does a lot of different kinds of stories.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we start with a telescope playing over establishing shots, while Juliette is having a photo shoot.
In front of a green screen.
Green screen. She's still determined to get Deacon on her tour, but it's not going to happen. He all but launched the tour with Rayna at the Bluebird last episode.
Last episode. But in terms of the chronology of the show, that was recent. That was quick.
Yeah.
But she still has an in with Deke. Let's face it.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean
they
she
did
still
write,
has Deke with an in with her. Because, fornication purposes.
They did write Undermine together, and they still got to record that in the studio for the album.
Yeah, otherwise it won't get on the album.
Yeah. So they're gonna make an exclusive offer, but whether he takes it or not is another question. Also, Juliette's mum has shown up.
Yeah, Jolene.
Jolene. She wants Juliette's address, phone number. She wasn't given any information, but she was given $100 to fuck off.
They don't use that kind of language on this show.
That's what I heard.
I heard the word shoot instead of shit, so I think you'll find your fuck is now not accompanied with anything here. Sassafras, they might regard.
Yeah, so she was given $100 to kindly leave. Is that better?
Yep, I like it better. Thank you.
But she's a drug addict. Nobody can give her anything ever, says Juliette. She's not happy with her manager because he's her manager. Deacon, her mum, manage it, she says. And that's the first scene. That's the opening. So we move into Rayna is making breakfast for the kids, yogurt for breakfast.
Yeah, it might get cold
or warm. Maddie wants to go shopping, get some new clothes for her talent show that's coming up.
Yeah, well, look, the clothes she's got at the moment, she's just got new clothes, but they don't show enough belly or side.
She's looking like a sixth grader. Seventh graders show belly and side boob.
Got to get that side boob out.
And that's $1.
That's no. What the hell did you just say? That's the dollar. The word hell is $1. Side boob, A-OK. And I agree with that sentiment because I show my side boob all the time.
So Deacon calls, but Marina's a bit busy handling the kids and whatnot. So she answers and she's like, I've got the kids and Deacon's lawyer. Deacon's lawyer is calling, so she's like, you get that call. All right, speak to you later, and hangs up on him. The lawyer tells Deacon that Juliette's still talking about the tour.
Won't shut up about it.
No, won't shut up. But the answer's still no.
Oh, that's not
for
good.
now.
Well,
meanwhile, Gunnar and Scarlett are working on a new song, "I Will Fool."
And that's "I Will," fool, and it's in the it's from the perspective of the acclaimed dancer and actor Mr. T.
I want Mr. T to cameo in this.
Well, you've seen the show, so you don't spoil. But possibility? Are we looking hopeful? He's shaking his head. He's shaking his head, saying, "I'm not available to be seen through the Skype conversation." It's a weird way of doing this.
Who would he guest star as?
As Mr. T.
As Mr. T. He'd just guest star as Mr. T.
Okay. Yeah, he comes in. He brings his van. He opens up. Who's that inside the van?
Oh, Face.
Off. That's right. Nicolas Cage is in there. Pretends to be John Travolta, luring people to Scientology.
So Gunnar and Scarlett are working on "I Will Fall," and Avery comes in. They're at Scarlett's place.
Yeah.
They were rating at Gunner's, but the dog wouldn't stop barking.
All
Gunner's
the time.
dog hates blondes. Who knew? Avery, Gunner talks to Avery and says, "Oh, you were good last night at the gig. You reminded me of Link Ray. Do you know who Link Ray is?"
I know who Link 182 are. I know how Linkin Park are.
So
Is it one of those? Is it like David Gray meets Linkin Park?
Link Ray was an American rock and roll guitarist, and vocalist of Shawnee ethnicity, who became popular in the late 1950s. He was the original singer of Fire and Brimstone, if you remember from Lawless.
Nope.
No?
Here's what I remember from Lawless.
Quite a lot.
Here's what I remember from Lawless.
Okay.
I went to see it at a screening.
Yep.
I left the screening.
Yep.
I ended up writing a review with 1 star attached. That's what I remember.
I really like Lawless. That's one of my favourite films.
That's one film that is rubbish.
So, yeah, he wrote Fire and Brimstone from Lawless. And he... Nope. Yeah.
Nope.
Wait, no, I'm getting my people mixed up. I was going to talk to you about something else, but that's later on. So, Avery reminded Gunn of Link Ray. I would listen to Link Ray. He sounds quite good. He doesn't remind me of Avery, though. But anyway.
Avery turned over to Gunner and said, "That's great. I'm going to marry that woman one day and we're going to have a wonderful, happy life, right?"
Well, Gunner basically said, "Oh, my dog hates blondes, but I don't."
And he said, "Cool. Now maybe you'll find someone who looks exactly like her, but this one I'm going to marry and become the best husband I can be for her because we're truly in love and nothing's going to go wrong."
They're perfect together.
Perfect.
This episode was quite nice in showing their relationship a little later on, you know.
Yeah, there was a scene.
Oh, come on, it was sweet. Anyway, so we're back at Rayna's.
I'm not saying it wasn't sweet. I'm just saying there was a singular scene.
That's at least 2 scenes. We're back at Rayna's, and she's been told to stop spending money the way she used to. You have to cut the monthly nut in half. You've got assets, but they're just not liquid.
Yeah, I like to cut my monthly nut in half as well.
There's a few options. They could take a line of credit out on the house.
Mm-hmm.
It would look better than declaring bankruptcy because Teddy's concerned about, he's running for mayor. What's that going to look like to the voters? Look better than declaring bankruptcy. The other idea is joining Juliette on tour. Remember, we mentioned that 2 episodes ago, but she's still not happy about it. Or borrowing money, and she doesn't say this. Someone suggested it to her.
The accountant brings us up the professional man who involved in professional works around the whole of Nashville. Suggests the following:
you could borrow some money from Daddy.
Says the word. Says the word.
And I just when I was going back over this earlier, I did spot that, and I was like, "Wait, we have to talk about this because look, Daddy's a thing. You don't want it to be a thing, but it's a thing."
So stipulates that in the world of Nashville, it is not just Rayna, a grown-ass woman, referring to her father as Daddy. It is everyone in Nashville seems to refer to him as Daddy towards Rayna. Not father-in-law, not your father, not your pappy, but Daddy. Or in case of when she's talking to her daughters, your papa. But in her head, she's saying my daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy.
But yeah, she's still not.
She is the Eddie Vedder. This bloody thing.
She still doesn't want to borrow money from Daddy. So now we have Juliette is leaving rehearsal. She wants plastic cheese. She wants the good cheese, the good kind, the square plastic sheets of cheese, not the block. Oh. And her mum turns up. So she leaves her manager behind and basically fucks off. That's a verbatim. That's a quote. She says, "I'm going to fuck off."
I'm really starting to wonder if the version I've been watching is censored.
She's got a British accent in it as well. Right, mate, I'm going to fuck off here.
Johnny, are you producing your own dubs?
Maybe.
Okay.
What I do in my spare time while I'm furloughed is my business. Okay.
Right, but it's not your spare time when you're putting it into the podcast. It feels like you're making it more public than it ever needed to be, than I ever wanted it to be. I'm worried for all of us. Do you sing on the dubs or do you leave that intact?
What's gonna be really interesting is when we get to the final ever episode of the show, and
At
then
that point, you've filmed
meet up.
everything as well.
No, and then we meet up the following week and we do the next episode because I've written more. It's just going to be a never-ending thing.
Oh,
These
dear.
characters will live forever.
And you've got
Except for Daddy.
124 episodes to re-edit into your dub versions.
We got time.
Split screen characters who can kiss each other who never kiss in the show. Gunner, meet
so Juliette is looking over her photos from her photo shoot earlier in the episode. 14 tracks have been decided upon for the album.
They need a lot of tracks for an album. Usually you go for between 10 and 12.
Yeah. Well, they need to decide on another 6. So they're going to 20. Yeah.
So that's 4 vinyls we're going for.
Yeah.
I'm assuming she's going to print a limited run record store day. That's interesting. It's very 2020 experience. Like, is she going to put on a suit and tie?
Oh, she's just going to drop it like it's.
I once had. I'm going to go on a tangent right now.
Okay.
When once for geography class had a substitute teacher, who was Canadian, and it was for one lesson. And the girls in the class were so enamored with him and his accent. They just asked if he could say stuff to them. Right. And for 5 minutes, they got him to just keep saying, "Drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot." It was we learned nothing that day except how girls work with Canadians. It was fascinating, but it always stuck with me. So when I hear "drop it like it's hot," I think of geography. Thank you. And you know what you can learn in geography?
What?
The location of a town or coordinate.
Oh yeah. It all comes back. So
like the globe.
They can't commit to anything exclusive with Deacon. So the answer is no from Deacon, but the answer is never no, says Juliette. So she calls him up, leaves him a message, and says it's now or never for to put Undermine on the album. So you got to come in and record it if you want it on the album. Come on,
those tracks, or maybe you'll be left in the dust.
So now we're back in another studio with Gunner and Scarlett.
This is a nice studio.
It is nice. Dolly Parton, Joe Cocker, Willie Nelson, all recorded right there.
Charles Manson.
No, you said that. She didn't.
Hey, you're doing dubs. I'm doing dubs. Okay. I heard someone say Charles Manson in the back of my mix.
Just someone walking by in the background, Charles Manson.
Yeah,
carrying some
someone
wires.
with a big beard and a swastika in his forehead walked by and mentioned Charles Manson. Strangest scene.
Singing Helter Skelter. Scarlett is shaking like a leaf on a tree. So they've got a new studio version of If I Didn't Know Better, with violin and drum added in, which kind of sounds nice, but I preferred the scaled down version.
No, I like being filled up.
Anyway, Scarlett is too nervous.
Yeah, Scarlett kind of fudges this performance.
Yeah, she's nervous.
I know she's nervous.
She misses her cue.
She doesn't just miss her cue. She really screws that up.
Yeah.
But I also feel in that case the producer didn't really give enough time.
Well, we don't know because. Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Even the lead in, it's like, now we're rolling, and Yeah. I don't feel like she's heard that mix yet enough.
Well, that's the business. You gotta catch up. Meanwhile, Rayna and Deacon are planning their tour.
Yeah, they're sitting down having a convo.
Yeah, and do you want to walk us through where they're gonna be playing? I've got it written down here in my notes, which I do write.
No, forgive me. I did only watch this episode recently, but they're going to play Aruba, Jamaica. They're going to take you to Bermuda, Bahamas. Pretty Mama will go to.
Unfortunately, none of those are right.
No?
So they kick it off at the Ryman, then overnight into Raleigh, then Richmond, DC, Baltimore, Philly, 2 nights in New York at the Beacon, and then Boston, Syracuse, Cleveland, and they end the run in Louisville, and start the Western run the following week.
Now, they're going to hit New York for the Beacon, but at one point there is mention that she could set out for one night of the Garden.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't put that in as a possibility.
Surely
you want to hit if you can.
It's more scaled down. This
I know it's more scaled down, but even so, I mean, do you reckon they're going to go for the Western side and then do one closing night? Well, a theoretical closing night at the Garden, then fly back to Nashville and do one, do like a hometown hero finale.
If it goes ahead at all, because remember, Juliette's still looking to take Deacon away.
Yeah, but Deacon's all in with the Rayna stuff because they've got history. They've got history.
Well, there's Rayna's going to be missing the kids a lot, but they said there's a nice master suite and some bunks for you, Deacon, on the brand new bus that they've got.
Yeah, the man he said bunks plural. So does he sleepwalk into different beds? Is that his thing?
Maybe that's a mid-season finale thing.
It becomes a Mike Birbiglia skit.
So now they're talking about the set list. Deacon wants to start.
I think they're going to go for all the best songs, right?
Well, Deacon wants to start with the early ones, stripped down. So like, "Don't Leave Without Me," and that could be us.
I don't know that one. I don't know that
Stand. One. No, we don't. We don't know these ones. Rayna says let's focus on the big songs, and
as I want,
But Deacon says it'd be better to do the things we did the other night at the Bluebird. It's quiet, it's intimate, it's what's gonna work.
Not going to sell the Beacon. I certainly won't do the Garden.
But Deacon says, "Look, I'm just going to leave you to it. You take time and decide what you want, Rayna. And I'll get back. I've got to go and do something. What does he got to go and do? I wonder."
Probably he's got to go to the bathroom.
Well, now we're back recording with Scarlett and Gunnar. Yeah. She's still struggling.
Of course.
She skips a verse and sings over Gunnar.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was a really good moment, but apparently it wasn't even planned.
Yeah.
I think, do a round. Do a song in the round. Let's get some medleys going. Song time.
Well, they stop recording for the day. She apologized.
For the day? It feels a bit too early for that.
Well, I don't know. I feel like they've probably tried a few times at this point.
Yeah, but I can't imagine they spent, 6 hours on this. I'm assuming they've got the whole day for record.
Yeah.
They booked it out. So it seems they're rushing. Just lunch, maybe. Or an afternoon, just a quick 10-minute walk.
Well, Scarlett apologizes to Watty and sort of runs out a bit, and Watty goes to talk to Gunnar, takes him away and has a word with him. Now we're back with Rayna.
Hold on a second. At that same point, Watty has just come back wearing a pork pie hat and taken it off and looked around, make sure no one noticed that he was wearing a weird hat. And he's got a bunch of money in his pocket when earlier he had some sort of packets of blue items, right?
Wow, you're really taking notice. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. Because he's Watty White.
Yeah. Fuck's sake. God. Why do I keep falling for that?
Goddamn right.
So we're back at Rayna's house. They're looking at clothes. Daphne is
they're looking at clothes as in we're looking at clothes as well because we are watching the show. It's a visual medium, so we're looking at clothes.
Yeah.
Now, who else? Rayna's looking at clothes. Who else is looking at clothes?
Daphne and Maddie are in the room too. I think
daughters.
They're looking for clothes to wear for the talent show, and Rayna's looking at sort of clothes she's worn over the years. That, this one's a bit worn out. Let's retire this one, shall we?
This one can show more side boob than you ever see.
Daphne is dancing on the bed and singing along to "She's Just a Girl I Used to Know" by George Jones. That's playing on the radio. This was written by Jack Clement. Do you know Jack Clement?
If I say yes, will there be no follow-up questions?
If you say no, there's not going to be any follow-up questions. I'll teach you.
Maybe.
Well,
there's always a third option.
Well, Jack Clement wrote some songs for many country stars, including Johnny Cash. Do you know what songs he wrote for Johnny Cash?
Sorry,
there's another question. No, June Carter wrote that song.
Honestly. What are you talking about?
So he wrote "Ballad of a Teenage Queen," "Guess Things Happen That Way," and the one on the right is on the left for Johnny Cash. He performed "Guess Things Happen That Way" on the memorial tribute for Johnny Cash on TNT back in 2003.
Did he also write the song "My Name Is Johnny Cash" and I wrote the song?
No.
No, who was that one? That wasn't
I don't
DJ
know.
Luke, was it?
Also, I'm just checking. I think. Yep. Guess things. I
Hold on a
guess
second.
things.
We're getting news down the wire here.
Guess Things Happen That Way.
Yeah.
Was the 10 billionth song to be sold on iTunes. I remember that was back in 2010, February 2010. And I always like
February
that little
2010 billion.
Yeah. I always like that little fact because it's the 10 billionth song, and you wonder how it got to be that song that was sold. But I guess things happen that way. Anyway,
What's the 69th billion?
I don't know. Do you think we're at 69 billion by now?
I
If
mean,
it took to 2010,
I have bought a lot of versions of Closer just so I can have that as that.
Oh, I thought you'd try and find a song called Nice.
What's nice than fucking some fucking animal?
So Maddie's looking for songs to wear for clothes
to wear whilst performing her latest clothes.
Yes, for clothes to wear for the talent show.
Yeah.
The radio finishes playing "She's Just a Girl I Used to Know," and starts talking about Rayna and Deacon last night at the Bluebird, and goes to play their song, but Rayna turns it off, and a messenger comes along.
Well, no, the girls want to remind her that they like that song.
Oh yeah, they like that song. Yeah,
it's real positive. But it's very, very positive to hear the children not in that sort of kind of, "Oh, we don't like your music. You're embarrassing us."
Yeah,
genuine.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I
don't like any of the work that my parents have ever done. Look at me. I'm one of them.
So a messenger has come by with an envelope for Rayna with 500 grand from Daddy.
That's not what it says.
It says, recipient Rayna.
Yeah.
And, give her the money, Daddy.
I do not believe he signed the check, Daddy.
From the account of Daddy. From Daddy's account.
Account of D.A.DDY Esquire.
But that's just your papa being your papa.
Yeah, it is.
Rayna says to the girls. So to them, he's papa, but
yeah, I like
everyone
that.
else,
I
would like
to call him papa from now on.
No, it's Daddy.
It really doesn't ring true to me. I had my kind of went. The acid in my stomach is now coming up to my mouth when you said
that. Meanwhile, Juliette is recording Undermine.
No,
Deacon arrives.
No, she's not. She's recording it in a studio.
She's recording Undermine in a studio.
Thank you.
The studio is Undermine.
Yeah, it's really awkward. All you hear is...
And Deacon arrives
to...
Well, that's how Deacon Deacon greets her, isn't it?
Yeah.
Deacon arrives to sing along with her. Meanwhile, Scarlett is leaving the recording studio, apologising to Gunnar. Gunnar says, "Don't worry about it." He says, "I've just spoken to Watty, and Watty's gonna give our stuff to a publisher." It's all about a publishing deal. Doesn't matter who sings the song as long as they cut. But Gunnar's going to sing with another girl.
Royalties, baby. It doesn't matter who sings on it. As long as you royalties, you can then sing the next version, the popular one.
Yeah, but Scarlett's not very happy about that.
I will always love you.
Dolly,
sure. Whitney, huge.
So we're back at Rayna's again, and Rayna's asking Teddy if he asked for a loan from Daddy.
No.
Teddy says, "No, I didn't ask Daddy for a loan. But Daddy gave us a loan for some reason."
Teddy does call him Daddy, though.
Yes.
It is.
So Rayna...
He's going to run for mayor of Nashville. and here's Daddy. I mean, you lost all the votes at that point. No one's voting for a man who calls his father Daddy.
Rayna has got a list of things that come with the loan. She has to
requirements.
She can and can't. Yeah, requirements. Do you remember the requirements?
Yep. Keep calling me Daddy.
Yes.
I mean, let me be hired out to do the MacGruber movie. If MacGruber movie already done, please watch MacGruber movie. And don't let me die at a way too young an age, please, because I'm the best actor there is.
That should have been on the list.
Should have been. And we have the writer to thank for it not being there. So thanks a lot.
Keep Calling Me Daddy wasn't on the list because he didn't need to tell her that. She knows that. She knows to do that.
She's instinctive now.
She can't release an album unless it's a best of.
Gonna get them greatest hits.
She can't tour until after the election, unless Teddy wins, in which case she can't go on tour until the second half of his term, unless he's running for re-election, which means that year her tour dates have to be limited to no more than 15 venues. It's not feasible. So
I mean, it's totally feasible if you weren't planning on doing a tour.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know if this is a shock to anyone, because this does feel like a big twist. Rayna was planning a tour.
The heck you say?
I don't bullshit you.
Wow.
I know. It's
wacky. Yeah, the tour with Juliette. She's touring with Juliette. That was that on?
That's no. God no. How no. Deacon. Her and Deke. The two.
Her and Deacon.
The both, if you will. It's Ted Leo, it's Amy Mann. That's what's going on. It is not some sort of Pitbull Kesha situation.
Kesha.
Pitbull, he's Mr. Worldwide.
So it's not feasible. Teddy says, "We'll tear the check up, Maybe take a loan on the house. We'll take a loan on the house." Teddy is going to look into that. Well, not for free.
What you said on the house?
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Is it a mortgage? If they're saying take a loan on a house, isn't it a mortgage? Why don't they just say mortgage?
Because maybe the people watching Nashville don't know what a mortgage is.
Maybe.
I don't.
Is that an English thing or
no?
No, it is a thing like
it's
worldwide.
A thing. It's like Pitbull. It's a thing that's Mr. Worldwide. Called it back already. I set it up and I've knocked it down.
So we're back with Deacon and Juliette. They're singing Undermine together. They've finished recording and they're sat in the little office. It does sound good. Of course it sounds good. It's Nashville.
Forget it, Johnny. It's Nashville.
They're talking about who's that last verse about?
I mean, it's about Daddy.
It's about Mummy. It's about Juliette's mum.
What?
Yeah, Juliette's mum raised her on all the greats: Patsy Cline, Carter sisters, Kitty Wells, Rayna James.
Carter sisters.
Rayna, who had her career handed to her on a silver platter. Juliette says.
Who's Juliette's mummy?
Jolene.
Huh.
Juliette is still incredibly jealous of Rayna. Had a career handed to her on a silver platter.
Yeah.
Deacon asks if Juliette's still close with her mum. She kind of brushes by that. She lives her life, I live mine. And Deacon says to him the song's about him. To which Juliette says, "That's why I like it so much." Oh,
that's what makes it so perfect.
That's what makes it so perfect. So now we're at the talent show
for this is something
for Daphne and Maddie. Rayna's signing an album for one of the parents at school. For one of the parents' sister's birthday, I think. Lamar has turned up. Sorry, Daddy has turned up. That's the only time I've written his actual name.
I'm so surprised. I didn't even know his name was Lamar.
Yeah.
I've been calling him Papa Pie.
Daddy turns up.
Papa
tells the girls to break a leg. Like, I think he thinks he's still on Deadwood. Because then he tells the youngest. He tells the youngest to break 2 legs. It's like, Jesus.
They'll grow back.
Oh, they'll grow back. I didn't know that about. Is that only in Astral?
It's a natural tradition.
Right. Okay. So Rayna goes to talk to Daddy and says about, why are you putting all these things if I
Is this
take
before or after the performance?
This is before the performance.
Okay, right. I just want to make sure.
So she says, why are you putting all these limits on me if I take this loan?
Yeah.
To which he.
Thank you.
To which Daddy, says, the girls are at an age where they need their mother, and Teddy is in the middle of the
Why'd you say that?
And Teddy is in the middle of a campaign. Rayna says, "Go home, go to hell, but don't stay here." And the talent show is about to begin, but first we go back to Juliette and Deacon.
We're never gonna get to this goddamn talent show.
And they're in bed.
What?
Yeah. Juliette and Deacon have just done the deed on their...
They've just performed their talent show?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of talent has performed. Juliette finally says, "Why didn't you invite me on stage to sing at the Bluebird? I've always wanted to sing."
He did build it up and then knocked her down.
Yeah.
It was a dick move.
But I did point out, she did sing at the Bluebird. She just sang very quietly and mouthed the words.
And sadly, very sadly.
Yeah. So Juliette just wants to be that girl that's worth choosing sometimes, If he thought of her in the same league as Rayna, he'd go on tour with her. And she says, "Imagine us going on tour together, writing songs. A song today could just be the beginning." And she says, "If you had to make a decision right now, what would you decide?" He says, "Well, it doesn't sound too bad. So maybe he's coming around."
Like the man?
Yeah. That's a Johnny Cash reference.
Is it?
The man comes around. Yeah, that's
Does he? What does he do? Does he hear anything?
Oh yeah, he hears the train coming. Is that what you wanted? Yeah.
Here's the drummer. Here's the piper.
We're back at the talent show.
100 Million Angels singing.
How
much to a big kettle drum?
Are you looking this up?
No.
Bloody hell.
It's a good song. That's a good song.
It's a Johnny Cash song.
That's a masterpiece, that song.
So we're back at the talent show. And the talent show's on. Maddie and Daphne come up and they're singing Telescope.
Yeah, but it's like a good version of Telescope.
It is a good version of
Telescope. It's kind of like a annoying faux country pop piece. Well, and their performance is good.
Yes. Well, Maddie's on guitar. Daphne's clapping and stomping her feet. She's in a real tantrum.
She is in a tizzy.
So what do you think about this is your first time seeing Maddie and Daphne singing together?
Yeah, I mean, before that, I only just saw them standing around and not singing. So now they have their mouth.
Or sat in the car being taken to school.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird they were sat in the car and not singing. It's like the
just
opposite of Step Brothers.
Watching Telescope being filmed and going, we can do better than that. So yeah, what do you think about their singing? It's quite good, isn't it? Yeah, nice. It's really wonderful. Don't you want to hear more of them?
I mean, I'm excited to.
Oh, good.
That's anticipation. Don't just send me a link. Let me experience it through the show.
Oh no, I wouldn't send you.
You would.
I wouldn't send you a link. I wouldn't spoil anything from this show.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I feel like you've spoiled it multiple times that Avery is definitely going to have a happy marriage. You have established this setting that Avery Gunner's going to convince Avery to finally settle down with Scooter from the Muppets. Is that her name?
Oh, is that you think Scarlett?
Scarlett, thank you. I knew there was a Scarlett.
Oh my God.
And have a wonderful marriage and nothing could ever possibly go wrong. What might go wrong?
Well, anyway, we're back at Rayna's house, I believe. She's with her sister. Her sister's name is... I had to write this down because I didn't realise. Tandy. And they're talking about Daddy. Tandy. T.
Tandy. Oh, yes, like Last Man on Earth. That's why it came up in my head.
And they're talking about Daddy.
They are talking about Daddy.
Tandy calls her Daddy as well. Everyone's calling him Daddy.
I mean, I get that, but also that's weird. She is a grown human being. Papa? Papa, can you hear me? Hi. Dad.
They're talking about Daddy,
bastard.
and it turns
Powers
out
that be. They're all good names.
it turns out that he hates Rayna's career because of their mum. She had a singer-songwriter friend for 10 years until she died. She had a relationship with him.
Oh, you mean a Showtime's The Affair?
Well, it's what made her marriage work.
Oh.
It's like a throuple, basically, but I don't think Daddy was
There were
happy
3
with it.
people in this marriage?
Yes. So your career, Rayna's career, just pushes buttons in Daddy. You don't want to be pushing Daddy's buttons.
You don't want to be pushing my buttons right now, Johnny. I've got the keys to the Bluebird. You can get locked inside.
Speaking of which, where do we turn up next? Now we're at the Bluebird. Hey!
What? Here?
Yeah,
Here?
Here at the Bluebird.
Oh, that's awesome.
Avery's come to pick up Scarlett. She's just finishing her shift. Gunnar gets him beer and says, "Oh, she's still a bit rattled, isn't she?
Of course she's rattled. Have you not seen what she's had to do? She's had to do 6 episodes of a Muppet Show on her laptop. Whilst upgrades are happening for Disney Plus. Oh, sorry.
So he says, "Oh, she's a bit rattled from today from the recording."
Yeah.
And Avery says, "What do you mean? What happened? She didn't say anything to me." So Gunnar tells him, "Scarlett choked, and I think it might have something to do with you. I think she thinks you might leave."
They just pop off those bottle tops in such a way that I'm just thinking, the bottle tops in the UK, when you can't really do that, you have to have a bottle, because that's going to cut you. How do they transport the ones in America like that?
That's true.
Because they're rattling around enough, they're going to pop open.
Is that a thing in America, though?
Right?
It's like, I just thought it was a movie thing to make it easier to open bottles. I didn't think there were actual bottles that are easy to open.
It comes from, the kind of the pop openable ones. That's the premise.
That's so weird.
It's a genuine. It just makes no logical sense as to how one handles the gases inside.
Well, Gunnar thinks Scarlett has a feeling that Avery might leave her. Avery might leave her if she really goes after it. Goes after singing and songwriting.
Yeah.
To which Avery says, "Well, that's ridiculous." To which Gunnar says, "I know. So fucking sort it, mate."
Yeah, it's weird. He just became Monica Geller at that point. He literally goes, "I know."
Yeah.
It was a deep fake. It's the first OG deep fake.
And now we're at Daddy's office. He's on the phone. Rayna walks in. She's not carrying weapons. That's the season finale, the big fight sequence between her and Daddy. It's like,
so she's going to fight the powers. Fight the powers at Booth.
It's like, the fight sequence in Anchorman. So many weapons.
Anchorman
anyway.
2, The Legend Continues. Yeah, yes. with Marion and Will and Jim and Kirsten. I call them by their first names. Harrison, Liam, son of Liam, John C.
So she's not got any weapons, but she's come to talk about her mum and the affair. Weapon. What's her weapon?
Her heart.
Oh. So she's come to talk about her mum and the affair. As soon as she died,
she's a big fan of the show. She liked Dominic West. Dr. Jackson.
As soon as their mum died, Daddy was never around. He was gone. He was absent her whole life, except for being furious with Rayna about the choices she made with her career. Yeah. He was never supportive, although he did pay for her first record, but he didn't tell her that until 20 years later.
20 years of not knowing who the mysterious donor for your record was. And seeing a check written that says D-A
D-D-Y. Well, Daddy says
and guess what? Guess what? He had no alibi.
He ugly.
He powers.
Well, he doesn't want Rayna to have the same disregard for her marriage as their mum did for his. But Rayna says, "Well, if you treated her the way you're treating me, I don't blame her, basically. And I'm not going to take a penny from you." And she walks out. How much
is she going to take then? $500,000?
$500,000. Yeah. Juliette is she's still in bed with what is it, Deacon.
I'm sorry. The Deke. You forgot the Deke.
I was about to say Gunner.
Oh my gosh.
That's not until later. I mean,
yeah, let's get the gun in there. I mean, it wasn't going to be Avery because Avery and Scooter are perfect.
Oh,
So
yeah,
they can fall in love and be married.
not Scooter. Give up. So she gets buzzed by security. There's someone at the front gate. It's her mum. Her mum's been clean
Her
over
mum
2
was
weeks.
at the front
apparently.
gate giving being security.
Yep.
Wait, who's her mum?
Jolene.
Jolene.
So she's Jolene's been clean for over 2 weeks.
Being clean.
Jolene's
being clean.
She had to hitchhike to get here, but her mum needs her. Juliette says, well, there was a time when she needed her to put her on a bus and send her home. She says to her security, and she walks away.
Wait, who walks away? You're using the she and the her.
Sorry, Juliette. Juliette walks away from her mum and gets security to send her mum on a bus home.
Her mum?
Jolene. Rayna.
Can I just say the gates? Juliette's gates.
Yes.
I love the gates.
Okay.
There is a problem, and I've got an expert here to explain what the problem was. Please welcome to the show, podcast extraordinaire Mark Maron.
Okay.
What's that? Oh, he's saying they should lock the gates. Thanks, Mark. Meow.
Boomer lives.
I don't think we should really have, cats in this cafe. I think that's kind of against health regulations.
Yeah, that's true.
But hey, we're backstage.
So Rayna has called Deacon. She wants to talk, so he bails on Juliette. He's got calls to make. He doesn't say what he's got to do, but he's got to speak to the other woman in this very strange triangle. That's not love, but it's just a very strange.
Is it a strange triangle?
It's a tour triangle.
Isosceles?
Yes. Teddy has gone to the credit union. He wants to take a line of credit.
Which credit union?
The credit union that he used to be a board member of.
The Music City Credit Union?
Yes, the Music City Credit Union.
That's what it's labelled as, and it made me laugh. Because I just thought of it was like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's just all the musicians are having to do, accounting jobs.
Oh, yeah.
And loan officers. Louis Armstrong, loan officer. Loan officer Louis. Yeah.
Well, qualifying is Teddy's gone to see a friend at the union.
Yeah.
At the credit union. He wants to take a line of credit, but the quality of qualifying is a bigger bitch than this friend's third wife, apparently. The friend's
third wife.
The feds have started to do an audit.
They're cracking down the audits all the way to 2008.
Yeah, to 2008, the good old days.
Which was 3 years?
Yeah, about that. Right. So that was when
it's not too long ago, really, when you think about that.
Yeah, that's true.
3 years of counts. I was thinking,
4 years.
It's going to be a decade.
Years, yeah.
Okay, fine. I was thinking, like a decade's worth of let's see the ins and outs of shit.
Yeah.
So comparatively, they're really looking for a small needle in a giant haystack, clearly.
Yeah, well, Teddy's not happy about that, and he says, "Well, I'm going to speak to Rayna, and I'm just going to run. I might come back for the loan, maybe not. Bye."
I've just got to make a phone call.
Exactly. So we're back in Avery and Scarlett's. Avery gives her a whisk and leads her out of the kitchen, and he asks her to sing to him. She says, "Are you crazy?"
Now, we know it's kind of crazy because Scooter is famously not the performer of the Muppets.
Not Scooter, so Scarlett. For fuck's sake, I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
You don't like me comparing the hottest character from the Muppets to the hottest character in the
show? So Scarlett says this is crazy, but Avery says it's no crazier than Wally White thinking anyone but you should be singing on that demo.
You're goddamn right.
Everyone was staring at her at the Bluebird, but Scarlett doesn't feel like she belongs in the studio. But Avery says the songs came from you, and you've got to get them out. It's like a piece of you. You've got to get them out, and it's got to be you that does it.
People think that Watty White makes the decision about who should and who shouldn't sing, but actually, Watty White is the one that sings.
Oh my god. Anyway, I just love this show.
Nashville. So, yeah, it's a good show.
Avery says he'll go with her if it helps. He wants her to do it for him. So maybe he's given her a bit of confidence. Meanwhile, Juliet's manager has said Deacon has got the contract. Yeah, that's the good news. Bad news is Mum got into an altercation at the bus station, and
also known as a bus stop.
Yes, she was found with a handful of oxy on her. She'll cause a lot more trouble out there than she would if she
got the oxy, but she got it from a nurse, but didn't take the costume because no, she don't want no scrubs.
So he convinces Juliette to keep her mum here at the house because she'll cause less trouble if she stays here than she would if she's out in the real world. Meanwhile, Rayna needs to let Deacon.
Can I just stop you for a second? I like the meanwhiles. I like this sense of a comic book.
Continue. Oh yeah.
Meanwhile,
yeah,
it's exciting. Meanwhile, Rayna
is with Deacon, and she admits she needs to let him go. But
does she mention at any point during this scene that his hair is getting scruffier and his beard is getting longer, and it's making him look really good
because it's so natural,
really good.
So she feels like she's holding these hearts in her hands and trying real hard not to break them, but her heart's in pieces. She's trying to do the right thing, but none of it feels right to her. And Deacon just walks away. We don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to go with
assuming on that thing, she's going to write a song because those are lyrics.
Yeah.
Those are good lyrics for a nice bit of business.
Meanwhile, back in the studio with Gunnar and Scarlett.
On the other side of Nashville.
They're singing Fade Into You, which is a new song.
Yeah.
What did you think about this?
I was enjoying it until I heard a third person performing it.
Who's the third person?
You started singing. You started singing. And,
I don't think I noticed myself
because of the way that we were watching it, you were a second early. So I was hearing you, and then they were just performing your harmonies.
I was telling you what to sing. This is my show, damn it.
You were the Watty White of the situation.
Yeah. So they're singing Fade Into You and got another little montage. Each episode so far has ended with a montage over a new song, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like that will be the standard.
Yeah.
How television works.
Juliette needs an answer from Deacon. She needs to know if she can count on him. Scarlett, meanwhile, is in the studio.
She asks him if he's Mark Ruffalo. Can we count? You can.
Scarlett is focusing all her attention on Avery while she's singing Fade Into You.
Yeah.
And Gunnar is looking on like a lost little puppy.
Well, simultaneously, a bus has paused itself over a bridge and pours feces over a sightseeing boat, and they're singing another song about something into you. They're singing Crash Into You.
God.
Dave Matthews references, everybody.
Well, Deacon says to to Juliette, rather, that she's a hard girl to say no to, but he's going to have to. She deserves someone she can count on, and he's not that guy right now.
No. She
says, well, I hope Rayna's worth what you're giving up. And Daddy is in his office. Well, he's given up a tour, a big
performing Telescope.
Yeah.
Rayna's kids come out before Telescope.
Daddy is in his office and he opens the drawer looking at old photos of his wife and his children.
Wait, he has children?
Yeah.
So he's not just a man, he's a man who is also a father?
A daddy.
A daddy.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
Juliette's mum turns up at Juliette's house. She's not very happy. She just walks away and she's I think she's going to give her like a wing of the house, of the mansion.
Who's her mum?
Jolene.
Jolene.
Meanwhile, we're back in the studio again. And...
Oh. There is a moment in which Jolene is holding on to poor Juliette and thanking her.
Yeah.
Boy, that's not fun.
Yeah, Juliette's not happy with the situation. She just walks away.
It's not a good situation, obviously. You know, it'd be like if, I don't know, you're stuck in a pandemic with someone who feel like has hurt you over your whole life and you can't escape.
Well, she tells the security guard to stay, and she just walks off. She's not dealing with her mum.
But she has no security, which means the assassin is coming. No, different.
Meanwhile, Waddy is in the sort of back bit of the studio, stood next to Avery. He says, "You know, your girlfriend's got it."
God, I hope she's got it.
And Avery says, "Hey, we haven't officially met." So, do you think Avery only said, "Oh, you know, I'll come with you and I'll help you out," only just to get a foot in the door with Watty White? No, that's what I read it as. I don't like Avery.
He's going to hand a demo over. Watty's going to use it as a coaster.
Shit's going to go there.
He's going to get put onto a major TV show because people start watching, and he's going to use that as a co-star. And then he's going to go to Six Flags with the demo and ride it like a coaster.
Well, now we're back with Juliette, and she's at a grocery store. Is it
she's getting chips and dip.
Yeah. And
it's a supermarket. Let's call it what it is in the UK. Yeah. It's a supermarket.
And
chips and dip. She's walking around picking some stuff up. Thinking, is she and Deacon going to have like a fun, chill out snack food night together, or is she just going to get stuff for her mum?
I want to be part of that.
Or is she going to get? Is she getting some shit for her mum to just kind of kill her through chemical processed foods? These were two different assumptions that went through my head during that moment.
Well, she walks by the nail polishes, the nail
varnishes and makeup.
Varnishes, yeah, the makeup section.
The girls section,
and a couple of
stuff we're never allowed to look at.
And there's three girls behind her in the aisle, and they spot her and they go, "Oh, look, it's Juliette." And one of them takes out
Juliette Barnes.
Juliette
Barnes, specifically, they know her name.
Juliette Barnes.
Yeah, Telescope. That's the song we know.
And so one of them takes out her phone and starts recording because, you know, that's the polite thing to do.
Celebrity. No, it's what happens.
Yeah.
But Juliette, and you know, it's good that happens because, you know, then you get great shots of your favorite celebrities doing good charitable things and happy things like Juliette's definitely going to do, right?
Oh, well, she steals some nail polish.
Winona Ryder's it.
Yeah.
Bold.
Yeah. Bold. And that's the end of the episode. So, what's going to happen next?
I think that Scooter and Avery are going to have marriage tomorrow.
Oh, have marriage.
I'm guessing the next episode.
Can you stop calling her Scooter, please? You know, I don't call characters by random name.
You've never called a character by their incorrect name at all.
Yeah, I don't annoy you like that.
We know Lamar is kind of the most. Lamar.
Oh, Daddy.
Scooter.
Don't like this. I like having the upper hand. This isn't. I'm never going to be able to watch Muppets again.
Without touching yourself.
Without thinking,
Johnny, I've not been able to do that for years.
Oh my god.
Janice.
So yeah, that is episode 3 of Nashville. How are we feeling? We're 3 episodes in now. We're
somebody to call my name. Is that what it's called?
Someday you'll call my name.
Somebody recall Tom Hardy's Bane. That is a good episode. That Cliff Bowman has a lovely voice.
What are your sort of top things from this episode?
Top things, I would say tops with side boob and belly. Bottom things, I would say people who aren't performing Telescope. Because if two different groups of people can perform Telescope, let's just have an all Telescope episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's hear every version. Let's hear Powers get up on stage.
I'm glad
Let's
you're.
hear Telescope Dad.
I'm glad you're interested in Maddie and Daphne and their singing.
I'm worried more than
You're
anything
worried.
else, though.
Okay, what are you worried
Beyond
about?
everything else, I'm worried that Rayna's career is going to really subside with the whole mayoral dispute of Nashville.
Ah,
I'm already
yeah.
kind of like,
See, you're
I,
getting invested, aren't you?
I don't necessarily want to see her and Deacon go out on the stage together because I don't feel like that's good for her career to just live in the past and you know go to the old well. I feel like she should be braving new grounds but exploring what her past means to her simultaneously. And I'm, you know, obviously I think to someone like Madonna who kept reinventing herself, but then I think to the album U2 released that everyone got, which was about going back to the past while simultaneously evolving, and that was a really good album, and I think they should look to that. I think Rayner should kind of, I don't want to say ditch Deacon, but he obviously wants to do stuff on his own, really. He's trying to jump from act to act, and I think she kind of needs to give him the push to just do his own thing.
So do you think she should go with Juliette?
Oh, fuck off.
No.
No. No, I think she should do smaller venues, sure, if that's what it's going to take. But don't just go for, you know, don't go for the old stuff that Deacon wants.
Right.
I don't. I kind of like the idea of the best of stuff that she was going for, the big stuff.
Yeah.
But if you can't afford the big bands, spare it down a little, and rehandle it. I think the crowd will get a kick out of a new take on an old classic.
But the main thing is, you are getting into this.
Am I?
You are. I
Getting
can tell you are.
3 hours in.
Yeah, you're into this.
I,
You're loving this.
I've got, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I'm
You're in it
stuck.
for the
I
long
can't
run
really. There was an altercation at a bus station. Now I'm stuck here. So I've got to watch it.
Well, until next week. I know it's a whole week you have to wait, but it'll be worth it.
Will it?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Now we've got to finish up cleaning up this Bluebird cafe.
I don't. It's my day off.
Why are you here?
You said to meet here. You said it was very important. You said Wally
Yeah,
White.
I said to meet here to cover my shift.
You said Wally White was going to come by and drop off the good stuff.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of demos of Avery here.
By the good stuff, I mean the rota that you're doing every shift. So
What?
back to work.
Fine.
We'll watch an episode next week, but for now, put those chairs on the table.
Oh, they're nailed to the ground, you bastard.
Until next week.